Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome everyone for the Satsang of the Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. We are going to start today the chapter 11, and you got the electronic copy. In that it is page 47, and in the hard copy, the copy I have, it is page 91. So we start on page 91 here, or page 47, chapter 11. So the last couple of weeks, Swami was talking a lot about the Guru and Shishyas, teacher and disciples, because for everything in life, you get a good teacher, then you progress in whatever pursuit you have, right? We all, when we go to high school or college, whatever, we remember teachers. Like that's why I'm beautifully said there are three kinds of teachers, right? One teacher who complains a lot. Students are not good, the classroom is not good, there is no proper salary, always complaining. So they are the lowest kind. There are better kind of teachers who are explaining teachers. They explain, oh, this is the class, this is what is there in physics, chemistry, or even philosophy. They explain. They are the better teachers, teachers who explain. Who are the best teachers? Inspiring teachers who inspire us by their example. Not just they don't not only preach or teach, they practice what they teach. So those are the people we all remember throughout our life. Some teachers we are all there whom we'll never forget because they showed by their example, and our life got transformed. More so important in spiritual life. That is why Swami was talking so many, that whole chapter, and again this chapter about these gurus, how important to get a good guru. Because if a bad karma you have, you will get a bad guru. And there are many examples, right? There are people who followed Rajneesh. What happened to them? So he was a Bada Guru, he was giving pain. And there was this, what is that guy? Jim Jones, who made people have mass suicide, right? In Guyana. You didn't know that? There was even a movie which was taken after the Jim Jones, because he says cult, he started a cult, you'll go to heaven by all people together. I think in Guyana, don't you know, I thought you guys know more stories. And so they kill mass suicide, all people died. So this is the way to go to. There are so many these guys, false prophets, even now in India, sometimes they get arrested, these gurus, put in the jail. So this is a warning, and we should count our blessings, because buddhi karma anusarani. If you have good karma, God takes you in the right path. If you have bad karma, you will go to all these Bada gurus who will wrong, mislead. So we should thank Swami. We have the Guru of gurus, teacher of teachers, because there is only one Guru. Even Sri Ramakrishna said, Swami said, Shri Baba said, God is the true Guru. And we are blessed that we have Swami Satchidananda, God Himself, as our Guru. Even Jesus, in the time of those days, he warned there will be false prophets. He warned clearly they are like wolves walking around in sheep's clothing. So be alert, because, and how do you know the good prophet versus bad? He says, how do you know tree is good tree or bad tree? By the fruits you get. The fruits are bad, and they are bitter, or they are poisonous. That means bad tree. If it's a good tree, good fruit. Nice mangoes, avocados, or grapes. We have, there's a good tree. Similarly, good prophets with their teachings will be good. And another thing is, teachers are there many, but there are to have the difference between an ordinary teacher and the avatar coming as a teacher. There's a big difference, like Jesus coming as a teacher, Swami coming as teacher, Shirdi Baba as a teacher, Sri Ramakrishna as teacher. Two things they only can do. They can burn away our karma, transform our lives, and give us liberation. Ordinary teachers, they show the way. Even great saints, it's not easy for them. They can show the way, but this is the unique character. Swami Vivekananda himself said, what is the uniqueness when the guru, the avatar comes as a guru, he can burn off all our karma. Because what is the 108 names? Does anybody remember what is one of the 108 names? Huh? Karma Dvamsine Namaha. Like last time I said, what is it? If you are chanting Sakala Samshayaharayanam, it says when you talk about doubts, say remove. So when you remember these names, you should think about it, connect it to whatever we are doing. Karma Dvamsine Nama, he will destroy our whole karma. Because we have three types of karma, right? Sanchita karma, Prarabdha karma, and Agami karma. So just like I told you the story also, Swami told me, and I said, Swami, in our family we had to go through karma. Swami said, it is not true. If my grace is there, like a mountain of a cotton, you put just one matchstick, whole thing's burned to ashes. Like the divine grace is there, the whole karma will be burnt off. That is the power of an avatar coming. Like that Jesus, when people, they were Sadducees, Pharisees, and Jesus made, oh, that guy is blind. They said, we have sins. He said, all your sins are forgiven. And then the guy was like, you get up and walk. He made the Lazarus dead to rise and walk. So they have the power, because of sins we go through these diseases, afflictions. So God can just wash up. So that is why they were crucified him, because that is they thought it is blasphemy. Say that your sins are forgiven, because only God can forgive the sins. Ordinary people, gurus cannot do that. They can show you the right path, right teaching. So repeatedly we're telling, we are lucky that we have God as our guru. But there is, Swami says, another guru which is there every day we see. Who is the guru? In addition, nature. Nature is the gift of God, Swami says, and nature is God. It is the manifestation of God. So you can learn from nature. I don't know how many of you read this Gita called Avadhuta Gita. There is a great avatar called Swami Shirdi Baba is called Dattatreya avatar. And Swami is also called. Does anybody remember how Swami and Dattatreya are one? Yeah, when Swami was going to Dandipur forest, and somebody said, you want to see my real form? And then he asked this thing, and Jogarao, oh, yeah, no, it is Mahanga is there. So Jogarao uncle, he was there. Yes, yes, Swami. And then somebody was taking Polaroid picture. Swami says, take my picture now. That time Polaroid was there. And then as it developed, instead of Swami, they saw the picture. It is available actually in the books. Datta Swami is seeing as Dattatreya. And then that time actually I talked to Ratanlal auntie. She was a great devotee. She's no more. She said, Swami, she was just, because Swami's robe, when you take a photo, everything you want to write, even Swami, she wanted to try to adjust the robe. Swami screamed, yelled at her. Usually Swami is so soft spoken, so loud he screamed at her. I could hear. She was so scared and ran up. Then Swami said, she was puzzled why, because she was a close devotee. If at that time you touched me, you'll be just electrocuted, because so much power that time came in that form, will be electrocuted. So much power. So that is Swami is that. Even Shirdi Baba, they say, is the Dattatreya avatar. And that is the Gita called Avadhuta Gita. Dattatreya is the one who is the Dattatreya is son of Atri and Anasuya. Atri is the great sage, Anasuya is the great saint. So both they have the pray to Lord, the be born in our family, because he's a combination of Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, triple incarnation. And then he guesses Avadhuta. That means he doesn't stay in one place. He gives the highest teachings. There's a famous Advaitic treatise called Avadhuta Gita. That is why there is the one where first it says, Ishwaranugraheva Pumsa Advaita Darshanam. Only by the grace of God you get the interest in Advaita. Otherwise, you're always caught up in the rituals, Dvaita, God is separate, I am separate. You will be stuck in that cycle all the time. Ishwaranugraheva Pumsa Advaita Vasana. Only by grace of God you will have that interest in Advaita, to know the highest truth. So he talks about this nature as a good. Start with then already duality. No, Ishwaranugraha is the all-pervading divine grace. Because of that, you have. Then anyway, in the beginning, always everybody starts in duality. It is ends in Advaita. That is why even Lord Krishna says, Sarvam Jnanam Parisamapti. Everything ends in Jnana. So you need a role for the karma we have to do. We have a role for bhakti, but ultimately, but it is difficult to separate bhakti. Some people are proponents of bhakti. They say, but Swami himself told me, that's why I tell him the highest truth. Swami says, without any doubt, is Advaita. He repeated, say, because we had a discussion with me, and there's another great devotee, B.K. Narasimhan. He is Vaishnavite, Vishuddha Advaitin. Swami says, told me almost like one Narendra, never forget, the highest truth is Advaita. For me, at least, clear, categorically said. And so there, this Dattatreya said, everybody has guru. There are 24 gurus. If you want to learn this university, everybody is a guru. From everybody, like Krishna, from him, I can learn what to do or what not to do, because everybody will do not something you don't do good. So that time you remember, yeah, that's why he does, and that's not good, I won't do it. Oh no, he does that so good, and that's why he's so powerful. I've learned from him. So everybody what to do and what not to do. So he gives these 24 gurus talking from the sky, how it is expansive, all inclusive. And take the lesson from water, how it is pure, always try to be pure. And also from the various little animals. So he shows we are all subject to the distraction of the senses, right? So he gives the example of moth. So he just he gives the example, the weakness of the eyes, where we want to go to the wrong side. It goes because of the attraction, fire, because this is the light, goes, and what happens? It goes and dies in the fire. And similarly, deer, it is subject to the weakness of sound. Hears some nice sound, goes after that, and that hunter guy catches it. And fish, they put the bait, right? The taste buds. Because the bait, it takes the bait and they catch and do that. Similarly, another weakness our senses is taste. That is why I said each one by one weakness of your senses, they get caught and killed, right? The moth and the deer, and even they talk of elephants. So we have so many senses all together distracted. The eyes, the hearing, taste, things. So how much more alert should be? So that is why Swami says we have 10. So one wife is a problem. Swami says we have 10 wives. 5 karmendriyas, 5 jnanendriyas, 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action. So we should be always alert to use it for good. There is nothing wrong with senses. If you want to see Swami's picture or some good spiritual movie, if you want to hear divine music, talk about that. If you want to taste some nice food, put it for Swami and eat as prasad. And it becomes, then it is good. So everything you want to do, use the hands, offer for worship with the flowers. So every sense organ you can use for the good things. The same thing which is used for negative things, you could use the So these are all the teachers. So you don't need to, if you don't get a good teacher, we are lucky, we don't need to worry about his 20. We can use them, but we have the highest teacher. But people who don't have, there are some people, unfortunately, they can, even these gurus are accepted by Avadhuta Gita. That's what we wanted to give a little background, what we talked about. So now we'll go ahead, we start chapter 11, unless anybody has questions and comments.
Sairam, how can such coddled, comfort-loving persons attain moksha, liberation? If a guru is not able to secure such disciples, why should he deplore his fate? It is strange that there are gurus who lament when they are not able to attract such disciples towards them. Opium eaters, ganja smokers are unfit to be gurus. There are cheats. How can those who spend all their energies in securing wherewithal for their living be gurus? How can those who seek to fulfill their sensual fantasies be disciples? These are dhana, money gurus. Those are mada, pride disciples. To consider such as gurus and sishyas is to drag those holy names into the dust of disgrace. Who then is the genuine guru? It is he who teaches the path of destroying moha or delusion. And who is the genuine sishya or disciple? It is he who seeks to control and conquer outward fleeing mind. The gurus of today shout every day from platforms what they stuffed into their heads the previous day under the midnight lamp. Their performance is only like regurgitating the food once swallowed and nothing more. They talk like parrots, reproducing what they have learned by rote. Even children know that greed and anger have to be mastered. But in these people, greed and anger, envy and hatred, lust and pride pop up their devilish heads through every little word that they utter, every little deed they do. If those who claim to be gurus don't themselves master these propensities, how can the unfortunate disciples who resort to them succeed? If the guru is supremely self-sacrificing, saturated with selfless sarvagna samana, sympathy based on equal treatment to all, seek to sustain Sathya, is soul suffused with strength giving thoughts, striving to secure sorrowless lives for all, leading a sweet and simple life, satisfied only by the chance to show others Sanmarga, noble path, and Satguna, noble qualities, then perhaps only few disciples will gather around him. They will impose upon him faults that sully him and cast doubt upon his integrity and genuineness. But the Guru will be as serene as ever, for he suffers no loss. The loss is all for the Sishya, who let go the great chance. Of one thing be certain, so long as the delusion that this is the body is not cast aside, God cannot be realized. How far one may wander, whatever the number of gurus one might select and serve, stick to that delusion, all the dhyana, meditation, all the japa, repetition of the name of God, all the waters of all the holy, tirthams, sacred water, pilgrim centers that you bathe in can't win success for you. All your efforts is as useless as trying to bail out water with a vessel riddled with leaks. Householders who carry out their duties are all day preferable to such sadhus. They follow their ashrama dharma and they tread the correct path in unceasing remembrance of the God, and so these householders realize the goal. If the nature of the gurus and sishyas of today is to be considered, volumes can be written, but that will be using a precious time for unessential discussion. So we shall revert to one main topic. I think.
You went marathon.
I know it's because I guess this is all Swami talked about in chapter 10 also the what the guru and sishyas are and how so many gurus and their not being true and just repeating and whatever they learned, but not actually in that nishta. I think the true guru here, Swami defines who destroys that moha or delusion. So that moha or delusion is that body, that you're not the body and you're that Atma.
Moha is that you think you are the body.
The think that you're the
You
body.
need to get rid of that.
Yeah, that's.
So what is moksha definition? We talked about moksha. What did Swami say? Moha chaya. Moha is the delusion. Chaya is destruction. Destruction of the moha is moksha. So there is nothing moksha. Once you go, you die and you go to the heaven. Even when you are alive, you can have moksha. They are called jivan muktas. That means those people who are even no delusion about this body consciousness, even there while alive, there are great sages and saints who are like they have moksha. So that is why this is one of the 108 names again said. What is there in 108 names about moksha? Mukti pradaya namaha. Mukti pradaya namaha. So when you think about that, you should think about it. Like this will all you need to connect. So he is mukti pradaya namaha. So Swami authority says he gives us mukti. It is relief, but the bondage. There mukti means freedom. So he gives mukti from bondage worldwide. There moksha means destruction of moha. That is what one of the assurances Lord Krishna gave at the end, which is the most favorite shloka for the Vaishnavite, Charma Shloka it is called. What is that? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja ahantva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masvitya. He assured, I will give you moksha. Only avatars can assure that. So just he says, you do that, I will give you moksha. Everybody cannot say, I can give you moksha. So he said, then Swami said, he is in Tipradaya Namaha. So just you don't need to be born. And same thing with Jesus. So just he says, I am the way, I am the truth, just follow me. Actually, there was an interesting incident I heard. He had a disciple by name Philip. He says, Father in heaven. So he always starts that even the Lord's Prayer, right? The word Father in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So this is what you are talking about, Father in heaven, Father. Why don't you show that Father to me? That his disciple says, what can I do? You are living with me so many years. So if you didn't understand this fact, the one who has seen me has seen the Father. Because he later on says, I and my Father are one. Same thing we have experienced Swami, and that is the highest. We don't understand the significance because we need to have that purity. Same thing happens in different incarnations. Same thing happened Rama's time. Only few sages recognized his divinity. Same time, in the Lord Krishna's time, they thought he is a magician, and they even try to bind him right in the public assembly, these bad guys, because they have their moha. But Lord showed his cosmic form. So you need the grace of God to know the right path. So we should always pray. Like Sri Ramakrishna always said, Lord, please don't bind me by your world bewitching Maya. and give me pure love to your divine lotus feet. That is because this is very bewitching. That is very thing. So you need to have the hold on to his feet. Then only otherwise, this Maya is very powerful. Like you know the story of Mother Yashoda, right? What happens? He sees when open the mouth, he was eating, and he sees what does he see? He sees all the 14 worlds. Then, my God, he's the great Brahman. I'm so. Then after a while, he was eating the butter and we want to catch, and then he goes and ties him to a tree to bind him with a rope. Right? That's true. There's a famous story that the famous Leela of Lord Krishna. What happens when she tries to tie the thing to the tree, Hari? What happens to when you try to the tree? No, no. He just tries to put the thread, there is gap of 4 inches. Again, if they make the, again 4 goes on, thinks she gets tired. Whatever she does, this is just a fall short of those few inches. Then she sees his mother, so he feels sad for her. This lady is getting tired, doing. And he, in his grace, he says, okay. Then she binds him because he made it happen. So by his grace, she could bind him, not by our effort. Similarly, in life, we get rid of the bondage by grace of God, by our effort up to a point. But finally, there is a famous maxim in Catholicism, in Catholics, in Christianity, not by our good works will be liberated, by the grace of Lord Jesus. So that is, we should always think in spirituality, effort and divine grace. These are all both very important. So here he is warning that only God can give moksha. That is what he was telling. Others cannot, they will delude you. And also he says here, we do all spiritual practice, like we do japam, we do meditation, we do go to pilgrim centers. All this is like taking water in a vessel with all holes, so it is all leaked out. The important is you need to get rid of this body consciousness. That is the hardest thing. So because for lifetimes we thought we are the body, so it's not that easy, but by you need to go on practicing the spiritual practices, so finally you get it out. You know that you are not the body. So it can happen. So that's not easy, but it's a when you get a pain, back pain, neck pain, or neck pain, then you know that your body or not. That time really we can think is completely like great. It's not. It is practical. There are great masters who did that. Even he had a surgery done on his body. Ramana Maharshi, there's no anesthesia, just operate, and they did thing. And same thing with Sri Ramakrishna, Nag Maharshi. There are people, so it is a possibility. Anybody has any questions?
And also, here Swami said, as guru, that the true sympathy, I know here they said sympathy, but the kind and compassion towards all, if you're a real guru, and who shows that noble path with the noble quality. And also, I think very interesting here that that Swami said instead of having that fake sadhu, actually as a householder, that's really very encouraging. That you just do your ashrama duty, I guess ups and downs, and then you get the clarity that nothing else is permanent, Swami. You're the only one permanent, and just I guess as a householder, you could reach that moksha.
Yeah, that's reassuring.
Right.
Because we think only way to, no question, you can do more intense sadhana when you renounce and become a monk or a sannyasi. But there are many great saints who got liberation who are householders, like say Tukaram. He was married, he had a wife, and he had so much love for Panduranga. Same thing with Jayadeva, Bhakta Jayadeva for Krishna. Mirabai, she was married, had so much love for Lord Krishna. Tulsidas, he was married, he has so much love for Lord Rama. So there are many, and Tyagaraja, there are so many Ramadas, many saints. The main thing is how they lead your life. That is why Swami says, head in the or as ants in the society. So just keeping man mein ram, haath mein kam. So dil mein ram, haath mein kam. So just work in the hands, but think about that. So that is the way to do that. That's why Swami famous that Sathya Dharma Shanti Premalato. He himself composed, he sang, and let everybody sing. What does he talk about a householder there to get liberation? Janaka. అట్టి జనకునకు అందరాని మోక్షము లభించనే. What is that portion? Do you remember? No, the thing is భక్తితోడ భగవంతుని గొలుచుచు నిత్య కర్మములు నిర్వర్తించిన అట్టి జనకునకు రాజయోగము అందరాని మోక్షము లభించినే. సత్యధర్మము శాంతి ప్రేమలతో మీ నిత్య జీవన యాత్ర సాగించు. దట్ మీన్ ఫర్ పీపుల్ హు డోంట్ నో మన తెలుగు, సత్యధర్మ శాంతి ప్రేమలతో మీ నిత్య యు కండక్ట్ యువర్ లైఫ్స్ జర్నీ based on the values of Satya, truth, Dharma, right conduct, Shanti, and peace and love. Just how he gave the example. Janaka, who was Janaka? He is a great king. He has so many responsibilities, more than you and me have. So, Nitya Karmamulu Nirva, he just did his daily chores, daily duties. But he is called Rajarshi. He is a thing. నిత్య కర్మం అట్టి జనకునకు రాజయోగము అందరాని మోక్షము. మోక్షం is not easy to get. He says the thing which you cannot get, he got just what all he did is he daily performed, and bhakti toda bhagavantudu. He always thought about God. So the thing is, greatest example is man who is a king with the greatest responsibility. He could attain the moksha. He became Raja Yogi. That's why he's called Rajarshi instead of regular Maharshi. He's a Rajarshi, and he called liberation. Just thinking about God, doing his daily duty. So this possibility, no doubt, there's when you are in a sannyasi, you can be much more intense. You are full time, 100%. You are thing like that. Ramakrishna used to say, you hold with one hand the world, one hand the Lord when you are householder. Here, with both hands, you hold as a sannyasi. But there's fake sannyasis, they won't even hold with one hand. So it is better to be, that's why Swami is telling, it is better to be a householder who really think about God and do your daily duties. And I said many instances of great saints who can attain the goal.
So, Sairam, so actually the householder movement was so much powered by Swami Vivekananda from that time on.
It was there even our ancient times. In the Vedic, Janaka is not from Vivekananda. Janaka is from the time of Ramayana, right?
Right.
And so it was there all the time. Even if you read the Vedic times, there was the ladies called Gargi and Maitreya, that is Yajnavalka's consort. So they were there. Mm-hmm. That is why people say, oh, in the women cannot chant Gayatri. It's not in yoga, Vedas. And who is Gayatri? Gayatri itself is a woman, goddess, right? So these people are afterwards some vested interests, some Brahmins, some like people try to exploit the situation. So it is there in the all time in our history in Vedic time onwards. There are people, and they said that another time I told you about the Vyada Gita, a butcher, like Vivekananda used to refer. What all he was doing is every day, I told you, right, the story about a monk. So he was going, and he has so much power because he did so much tapas. So he was going something. This bird put its excrete on his head. He was so mad. He looked at the thing and he dropped dead because he didn't think. When he goes to his arms, he goes to a householder woman, and then he says, "Mother, give me things." So she was serving her husband that time, so she didn't want to get up. It took some time, wait, and I'll come, and she came. And then gave him the thing. Then she looked angrily at her. That means, how dare you can make me wait? I'm such a great thing. Then she said, I'm not the bird to die. He was shocked. My God, this man, this lady, even though householder, serving thing, but all she was doing is doing her duty, taking care of her husband with sincerity and love, as if he is God, and doing. And this guy, then he gets shocked. How did you get the knowledge? Can you teach me? No, no, no. You go to this guy, a particular guy in this place. He will teach you. His name is. Then he goes to that place. He looks. They ask this guy. They said. Finally, they show him. He was hanging this big block of meat, cutting that and giving it to people. Butcher, Yada. And he says, Sir, she sent me. I know she sent you there. He knows beforehand because he's such a realized soul. But I'd finished my day's work. I will teach you after that. So he had to wait because day's work is everybody, they're giving importance to their work. I know you are great, but wait. So the whole day is, after day's work is done, he goes, okay, now I will teach you. And there is a part you should read, that Vyada Gita, how each one should conduct in your daily activities, how doing that still you can realize that. There's famous Vivekananda's favorite, Vyada Gita. There is a part of the Mahabharata. So, like example to show that householders can also uh, realize that. Yeah, Vasishtha is there. He has Arundhati. So those days,
Right.
they used a lot of these rishis. They used to marry and live a life, and they still lead the very holy and sacred life. So it doesn't prevent you, but there will always, whenever it's you have responsibilities, you have distractions, and so that is there. But when you are completely full-time sannyas, there is nothing except doing meditation, doing this. That is not too many entanglements. So that is what the Ishana Trayam, they call three kinds of threads, but Dhaneshana, Dareshana, Putreshana. So we are bound by these three bondages. Dhaneshana first is going in search of wealth, and Dareshana, search of a spouse, woman, husband, or man, wife, and Putreshana, then you want to have progeny, and then what to take care of that. These three things bind you in this wheel of samsara. So, whereas they don't have those three, the sannyasi ones, because you renounce, you don't have wife, you don't think about children, you don't have to earn money. They old time, they just go in begging bowl and collect the things. So so they don't need to worry. They even give up their real sannyasis. They give up their name. So pre-monastic name is different from the monastic. Like Swami Vivekananda, his name was Narendranath, and then he became Vivekananda. Brahmananda, before his name was Raghava. Shivananda, his name was Tarak Maharaj. So each one, they even do a yajna and they burn their whole thing. That means they don't exist. That person is gone. So with that name and his relationship, friends and family, so their only connection is with God. So that is one thing. That's a monastic life. Okay, I think it's time up, and we'll continue. Anybody has anything other question? We have 2 minutes, but we can continue next week.